Good morning, you guys. Welcome back. I'm back with Kat here again. We're going out to do confined areas today. As you can see, pretty beautiful and sunny out in that direction. But if you look over this way here, we've got a pretty low ceiling. We're going to try and get up in this area over here and see if we can do some confines. Okay, so we just completed a full reconnaissance here. Kat's checked it out, made sure that everything is good to go. And what do you think? Are we going to come in from the south? The winds are kind of coming from the south, or the winds are light, I should say.
Yeah, so probably from the south.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. Let's do that.
Alright.
Okay, so we're looping around now on the dummy run. And remind me again, how do we do the dummy run? What height?
Treetop.
Yeah, treetop height.
Knots.
25 knots, exactly. And it's always treetop height of the trees on the departure path, so you're always looking at your sort of your highest obstacle on the departure path. Okay, so how are we looking here? We're at 60 knots still.
Or
Okay, definitely got to slow it down a little bit. Height's looking pretty good though. And then what are you thinking of this approach? Do you like it?
yeah.
You're not going to really be able to get in super low. You could almost come slightly more to the right. You see how there's almost a more open, almost slightly lower route there to the right? Because these trees on this side are a little bit on the tall side.
Yep.
That's good. This 30 knots, just a tiny bit slower. Gives us one final look at the spot as well. Make sure that it's a safe spot, which we like. We're not getting twitched around with the tail or anything. It feels stable.
Yep.
We're at 25 knots. We're descending slightly, so just pull a little bit of power. There you go. And we're using about 19 inches there. Okay, let's go ahead and climb out and we'll get set up for the real one. Okay, back around for the final approach this time. And I like that. It's looking good. Good height, good speed on this one now. And you asked a great question a second ago. You know, what does happen if you lose 25 knots, like more if you go slower than 25 knots? The big thing is if you just don't have enough power, then you're going to start sinking and you're not going to be able to recover it. So when you lose translational lift below 25 knots, the helicopter will want to start to sink, and then you just might not have enough power to pull yourself out. So again, maybe coming just slightly more to the right of that taller tree there. A little bit more. There you go.
Oh, this middle one.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see how there's a bit of a lower route here. And then we just really got to take our time because it's a pretty steep approach into there. And I think you identified it well. You saw that slope there as that second road kind of slopes up towards the main one. So what we're going to do, once we get past the trees here, we want to just start moving ourselves over to the left here. What I would do is stop the forward movement, move over to the left, and just keep slowly descending. Now, what's your limit of how fast you can descend at this stage?
300, well 500 is best.
Max, no more than 500, but we like to be on the safe side, so we say no more than 300 feet per minute. That makes sure that we're never going to get into vortex ring state. And so keep coming straight down. We know that we're over the road, so we know we're safe here. And then I'm going to keep coming down. Now you see that slope is relatively aggressive there.
Yeah.
Right? So what are your options? I would say at this stage we got two options. We could get up over there where it flattens out, then we get a little bit closer to that tree. Or we have lots of room off our right side. We have lots of power available.
Yeah.
So why don't we just drift over to the right? There's nothing by our tail or anything there.
I'm climbing to 2,000 feet, heading north.
And keep going another 20 feet or so.
Glen Valley traffic, this is Glen Valley
And then let's spin just a little bit nose left here so you can get a good eye at what's going on. You see here how it's relatively flat, and then it kind of slopes up, well, it slopes up way over there, but this stage is fairly flat here, right?
Yeah.
So I would say if we put ourselves down right here, we'd actually probably be in a good spot.
Facing that way?
No, still facing
yeah.
facing to the right, yeah. So we got little bushes here, nothing major. We can put our tail over the road. I think we'd be totally safe. So yeah, just slide over now. This is a bit of maneuvering here to figure out the safest spot to land. Looking good. Nice, you can even come over my way a little bit more if you want to. You're so serious, Kat.
It's hard. I concentrate and I look angry.
Good, take your time. Beautiful, little seating check. Make sure she's solid.
That was fun! Oh my word, that was so much fun!
That was very good. Awesome, nice work, and it felt very level. Very good. Okay, let's get ourselves out of here. We're going to do our takeoff checks.
Lights, the rotors, all the pressures on the green, and we've got fuel.
Okay, awesome.
So then, in this one, would you choose to vertical a little bit up, or just go through the opening?
The opening's not big enough for us to get through,
Right.
so we'd have to vertical until we get to the tip of that tree before we move. Yeah. All clear, that's good. And then it's important to stay right over top of our road, because if we do start to realize that we're running out of power, we want to be able to come straight back down onto this spot. We're climbing really nicely. Obviously there's only 2 of us in here, so 23 inches. We're climbing out. Now we're clearing the trees, so go ahead and fly it away. And that's beautiful. Nice work. So I'm thinking about the end of this long road right here. What are your thoughts on that? Is that something that seems like it could be reasonable, or is it too tight in there?
It looks pretty, well, it looks kind of, the only thing is those rocks right beside it.
Okay.
But if you go enough to the tip, it slopes down, so it's not like there's any hill.
Okay. What does the slope look like? Does it look
kind of looks
too slopey, or is it not too bad?
right at the end of it, it looks fairly fine.
Okay, yeah, I agree. And is there a big enough space at the end of it for your main rotor? Tail rotor is going to be okay over the logging road, right?
Yeah.
But the main rotor, is it going to be able to clear those rocks and everything on the right-hand side? Well, on the left now, but when we come in on the right?
I have to see on.
Yeah, we might need to do a dummy run, right?
Yeah.
So let's go get set up for a dummy run. Everything else seems okay about it. Let's see what a dummy run looks like. Okay, so this is cool. We're coming in now on the dummy run. And as we mentioned, it's the height of the treetops on the departure path that we want to stay at. And because we're on the edge of a hill and we could just turn left and fly away, we actually can come in basically eye level to this spot, which is going to allow us to see everything we need to see. We want to keep 25 knots, which we have, but we can get down even a little lower, and let's come a little more to the left. We can actually go beside it. And what are your thoughts? Is it a bit tight? Don't slow down below 25. Is it a bit tight, or is it going to work?
It looks a little bit tight, but I feel like you can make it work.
I can make it work, or you can make it work?
You can make it work.
Okay, well, it's a good thing we're together then. Let's go give it a try, and we'll see if we can do it. The nice thing about it is if we know that we have enough power, we can always abort short final, right? We can get in on a low approach. We can abort short final if we have to. So we'll get set up for another approach here. Go try it again. Yeah. So now what we want to do is get down nice and low, because we kind of want to creep into it from right over top of the road and get a really... Perspective is always better low down, right? So let's get low down. We know we got lots of power reserve. And so we'll get right in there. And then we'll see if we come in. Yeah, keeping the tail right over the road.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have plenty of room for that rotor system and everything. We just can't swing, right? So keep coming down. Don't end up high. So as long as we can find a flat enough spot there, which I think we can, we're going to have plenty of room for the rotor system, and the tail rotor is going to be fine. We just don't want to swing left or right. So just take your time, don't rush it. That's looking good. Good. Nice and slow on the touch. Little seating check, because it is relatively uneven. Nice work. Well, really good.
Yeah.
I like it. And how do you feel with your rotor blades there?
Good.
Yeah, we got a good space there. That's nice. And then same thing on this side. We got piles of room there as well. So that's looking good. Okay, nice and slow on the liftoff. What's our danger on the liftoff right now?
Well,
not on the departure, but on the liftoff specifically.
On the liftoff?
Yeah.
Just still the tail. You don't
Tail?
want it swinging,
Absolutely.
and then just any stumps or anything like on the skids too.
Yeah, exactly. The skids, right? We want to make sure that they're not actually caught on anything.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of sticks and things like that, so we just want to make sure that they're not getting us stuck. So just come up nice and slow, nice and soft. Don't rush it. And then just be nice and quick on those pedals so that we're not going to spin the tail left or right. Okay. We're solid, everything's good. There we go. Very nice. Alright guys, it's been a very long time since I've actually been up in the mountains because it has not been sunny in quite a while. But we're out, and we're up at, how high, 4,600 feet right now?
Yep.
Got a fresh little dusting of snow on the mountains. What did you call it? Cute?
Yes, it was very cute.
It's so cute.
Looks like a giant came with powdered sugar and just, Yeah.
It totally does. So we're going to go do a couple confines up here. Actually, come to the left for a sec. There's a little tiny pond over here. Curious if there's anything flat enough around it that we could set it down. So you see the tiny little pond?
Yeah.
Let's descend down a little bit. We'll do a little recon. We've got a few kind of benches. You can see the rocks kind of flattened out a little bit in different spots. We'll do a bit of searching. I kind of see a cool spot there. I don't know if it's flat enough, but we got to get down there and have a close look at it and see what we think. Not quite frozen yet. Not quite ice skating time yet.
Through 2800 for 35, got to be working in the area.
Awesome, so we're coming around again, and we are doing contour crawling now, so we really need to figure out, let's slow it down, stay nice and close to the hill here. We need to figure out where there's a flat enough spot to land, okay? And so contour crawling, you get in tight to the hill. We've got lots of room to the right to bail out if we need to, if we run out of power. What I'm also looking for right now is little patches of like grass or a little bush and that kind of thing. Because sometimes those create, go down a little bit down. I like that right there. You see that little bush area right there?
Yeah.
That might actually be flat enough. Let's go ahead and continue. We'll do another pass. Actually, we can do an out of ground effect hover here. So just pull it into a hover. We're high enough that we have a room to the right there to bail out if we need to. And just pull it into a solid hover. Don't let it sink at all. How much power are we using?
20.
Okay, we got
21.
20. We don't have any issues here. We're not running out of power. Okay, let's go ahead and fly away. We're going to come back around for that and shoot a little approach over that water, little pond, and then see if we can come in for a landing on that spot.
Alright.
That was good. Very nice. And what a magical day up here. I didn't think it was going to clear up further to the north. I thought it was going to get worse, but I'm okay with this. So we'll do a figure eight. We'll kind of hug the hillside here. We always want to turn away from the mountain, right? So we kind of fly parallel to it, and then we fly away from it. Because if we get any sort of a wind push, we don't want to get pushed into the mountainside. Or if we start to lose power for any reason, any downdrafts, whatever, we don't want to get sucked in and not have an out. So that was great. Nice figure eight there. And then how's our height? Maybe just a little bit low, yeah. And then we know we have the power, so we can come in nice and slow to the spot. And we're just going to work our way in and see if the spot is actually flat enough for us to land on. That's the nice benefit, of course, of having reserve power. If you don't have reserve power and you know that you need to get in-ground effect, you need to have a much more open, flatter spot that's easy in, easy out. And it's crazy, you can see from up close, it actually does have a very, very thin sheet of ice on it. Ooh, that would be fun to play a little hockey on there. Okay, this is looking good. So just keep coming in now. And we've got nothing for our tail to hit down low, so let's just go ahead and drop down. I'm going to get right down to eye level, basically. And then I think that is probably going to be a little too uneven, but let's give it a shot. See how she goes. We can just go super slow on the touchdown. We're going to want to stick a bit more over to the right, kind of get the toe kind of into this corner here, I think.
Okay.
And this is a good angle the way you've got your tail sitting right now. Like that. And then just really take your time on the touch. We always kind of assume that it's not going to be good, and then if it is, we're happy. That's nice. And then slow seating check. And this is where the seating check is really going to tell us, like, are we going to start tipping backwards? It's good. Keep gently bringing it down. We can rock that cyclic ever so slightly as well. It's feeling very solid,
yeah,
eh? More than I expected to. A little bit of pedals to make sure that we're not going to slip and slide off a rock. No, go ahead and gently lower that collective all the way. Wow. One shot. Look at that. Now the heel is slightly in the air.
Yeah.
On my side. How is it on your side? Probably really good on your side.
It's like right at the end. It's a little bit off the arc, but where the boat is still the way it is, it's
yeah, I would say pretty much all the weight is on the ground. There's just a tip in the back, and because yours is good, I would say that's probably fine. We could shut down here if we wanted to, but anyways, very good. Let's go ahead and lift off and depart.
Oh man, look at that.
Oh, that's cool, yeah. A little bit of ice there, and then you can see little wisps of fog kind of forming over there, clouds.
Yeah. So you see how you see the little clouds coming up?
Yep.
So is that just the wind?
That's advection actually, because the rocks are hot, right?
Yes.
And so it's just causing a little bit of rising air there.
Oh, so
yep.
there, if it's significant enough, if you flew over it, you would feel.
You'd feel a little bit updraft, exactly. Okay. Yeah. So on a warmer day, you know, as that sun is beating on the rocks, even today, we would feel it as we fly close to the terrain. We'll feel a little bit of lift.
Okay. That rock there.
Yeah, exactly. On the dummy run, we're going to keep the height of the rock. That's right. And we just got to see if there's enough space. I think there's probably enough space. We'll have a look when we get in lower. And
I'm pulling.
This is looking good. We're using, we're still descending a little bit, so we got to level it out. And then right here, we have enough room there to bail if we need to. Let's pull it into a hover. So let's slow it right down into a hover. And pull a little bit of power before you sink. Pull, pull, pull. There you go, because it's going to want to sink there. And, ooh, it's twitching a little bit, so we've got a little tailwind there. And we're using about 20 inches of power. See if we can vertical a little bit. So just pull up a little bit. Yeah, we got some reserve. And go ahead and fly away. So that little bit of tailwind, not much, but we could come in from the other side there. We could come in through this area. See how that looks.
This one?
Yeah, come through the low area. We can see the little ripples on the water there. Not a lot. Yeah, let's get down a bit lower because it is down right at the water level almost.
Oh, you don't want me to do another demi run?
No, we're not doing another demi run.
Okay,
we know we've got the power, so we're happy with that. And that's great. Just keep coming around to the left, keep descending down. We're going to get down as low as we can. And you can see how there's just a tiny little slope to the left, down towards that little puddle. So what I'd like to do is get on that side of it. Let's hover over to where you see where the rotor or the shadow is right now of the rotor blades?
Yeah.
Let's get over to there. And then we're going to fly it in.
In this
way? Yeah, so keep coming left all the way over to this corner here. Because we don't want to have to come down vertically onto it. It's a tight enough spot that we want to make sure that we've got confidence on where we're setting it down. So I would say tail rotor has to go right over the water.
Okay.
And then there's two rocks there. So let's start heading for the water. There's two rocks. Do you see them?
Yeah.
We're going to have to put ourselves in between those two rocks with the tail out over the water here.
Okay.
Which is nicely frozen right now. That's good. And I'd say we could go forward of the two rocks. So kind of just to the right of this one over here. And maybe as we get a little further forward, we can turn a couple more degrees to the right. So keep sliding it forward, sliding it forward. Another 10 feet or so, or 8 feet. That way the tail's going to be wide open in the middle of that water patch. That's good. Keep her going, that's nice. Right in there somewhere is good. Nice and slow on the touch. Very nice. Seating check.
Feels good.
Yeah, have a look out at your tail there. You can, once you get the collective all the way down,
yeah,
you can have a look at the tail. You can see where it's sitting out in the middle of the water.
Yeah.
And then same thing looking around with your rotor blades, all clear around. Wow.
That's, Misha, I really want to go swim. So bad.
You want to go swimming?
Yes.
We should do it. A little bit of polar bear swim?
Oh man, I would do it. Oh, I really want to right now. Look at that.
That looks amazing. That looks amazing.
Oh my word.
That's incredible. Alright, next time. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright. Oh man, this is so good. We've just dropped down now, back to low altitude, down to 1,000 feet. Just coming down the Stave River and just enjoying the colors, the waterfalls. Really nice. We're just going to finish off the flight with a couple more landings on some beaches like this. This actually looks like a good one. Why don't we do a quick orbit around? Let's have a look, see what's our wind doing right now.
A little bit of a tailwind?
Yeah, a little bit of tailwind, right? So we've got 80 and about 75 there. So why don't we loop it around? We can see it's a safe enough spot. Let's just look as we're flying out this way a little bit more.
Yeah.
Let's just look at the approach path and the departure path and see if there's any wires. I know that there's no wires, but it's good for you to check it as well.
Okay.
It's always one of the most dangerous things down in a valley bottom. And then we'll shoot and approach that beach. Nice and easy, but this would also be a great area for you to come back solo too. So let's keep dropping down. We're a little bit on the steep side here. Very nice.
Or you want me to pick a better place?
Yeah, pick a spot, so I'll let you choose. You can see there's some nice smaller gravel here. There's a couple of bushes we have to be careful of.
Right there in the middle looks
Yeah, it looks
nice.
good, right? The rocks get a little bigger and then they kind of get smaller again.
Yeah.
Let's get down low. We want to get down to eye level because it can be, especially on big flat spots like this, can be a little deceiving thinking it's flat and then you get lower and it's actually got some bumps to it and stuff. But yeah, up there it looks like it's got some smaller rocks. You know, from a distance, it just looks like a giant, beautiful beach, but, you know, you start looking at the size of some of these rocks here, and can get slightly prohibitive, but...
Like right up here?
Yeah, this looks really good. That's nice. Now, if you had wheels on an HX50, that could be nice on a beach like this. Not quite as difficult to find a flat enough spot. Alright, that was beautiful. A little seating check. This is where we want to check a little bit of pedals as well, so a little bit of back and forth on your pedals. Not much, just a little bit. It's more like a shuffle back and forth like this, right? If you push too much, of course it's going to spin, right?
Yeah.
But it's just a shuffle back and forth like this,
okay.
And then making sure we're not going to slip off anything. And then you can lower the collective all the way down.
Awesome.
That's good. Alright. Sweet, let's get out of here and head home.
Sweet.
Like that. So Kat just wanted to do one more quick landing before we went home. We're just going to land on the little helipad over here. We've got a very, very slight headwind right now, about 5 knots. So it would make most sense to keep our nose pointed in towards the bushes and just land like that. Obviously the main danger here is the railing on the right hand side, so we want to be cautious of that. And that's good. Eyes should stay up. We can kind of glance down every now and then, but we want to keep our eyes up and just fly it in. We don't want to hold too long, otherwise we start getting nervous and dancing around and stuff. So just basically fly it forward and down like you would onto the helipad back home. That's good. Keep moving a little more forward. We got lots of room to the bushes in front of us. Nice and smooth. There you go. Good. No twisting or anything on the touch. Little seating check. Make sure the boards are solid.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
That's
okay.
Cool.
Very nice. So when we get out of here, we want to come to the left, but we want to make sure that we're up nice and high first, so that we're not going to hit the tail on the railing, and we're going to actually drift a bit to the left. So let's pick it up.
So would I drift back at all or no? Just to the left?
Yeah, we're going to go back and to the left. You're right. Yep. Okay, no drifting there. That's good. Okay, so keep coming up and back and to the left. And just watching the building here. Nice, and then just ease it away. A little power line there. Watching for that. That's awesome. Beautiful.
Cool.
Very nice, very nice. All right, guys, we're going to leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining in today. It was awesome to have you guys here again. And sorry I haven't been posting very much, but I am super busy these days. And so I don't have the time to be putting out videos all the time, although I really want to be because I really enjoy making content for you guys. Thanks for being along for the journey. I love it so much. Give us a thumbs up on this video, and we're going to talk to you guys on the next one. Kat?
Have a great, awesome rest of the day. I was going to say have a great time watching this video, but I'm like, you already watched it.
All right, see you guys.